Do you have a dirty little secret? Welcome to the club.
And you're all invited.
The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We're handing out memberships, free of charge.
Step up to the VIP line and let Dana and Brimstone take you on a weekly ride of secrets and debauchery.
Now buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get heated on the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Dirty Little Secrets Club. We're your hosts.
I am Dana Pereira.
And this is Brimstone. It's going to be a real cheesy episode this week. What do you call it? Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
That I'm looking at. I just want to say, Day, I usually don't get right into it. We usually like tiptoe and have some fun before we get into the stuff. But the first thing on the docket today.
This one was too Gouda, huh?
The Gouda, bad and ugly. All the puns are going to be coming out on this one. I'm just letting you guys know. It's forewarning. We're not going to talk about it. But I had to start somewhere. It's been an absolutely crazy week. Lots of traveling, lots of in and out. What do you call it? I've been so goddamn swamped, but I do want to thank everybody who has, been so good to us on social and responding to, all of our videos. That means a lot. We thank you so much. And Day, we have grown in a lot of the charts, right?
We are hitting right now. We are hitting in Portugal, we're hitting in Italy, we're hitting in Australia, we're hitting in Canada, we're hitting in America. It just keeps hitting. I'm so excited about it. It's so fun to watch.
What was it on Good Pods that you just posted for us? Number 2?
Number 2. We are number 2 on Good Pods in the scandals category. And I mean, amazing. In the other categories, we were like number 4 and we posted it on socials, but how fun was that?
It's amazing. I saw that and I go, oh, look at this. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I got really excited. It made me smile.
They like us. They really like us.
I was having such a long week, it was like such a long week. And I'm going, oh, that really, really hit the spot. That was nice. I was so happy to see that. What do you call it? Just amazing how, things thankfully, catch on and, more people start showing love. And you don't know until you see things. You know what I mean? We could sit here and be yapping back and forth for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, and then
we finally made people submissive to our stuff here. We beat them over the head with it for 3 damn years. And finally they were like, you know what? I think maybe I'll give that a try.
You're a media dominatrix. That's what you are, Dana Pereira. We should just dress you up in all black what is it called?
You know what? I'm leather. In as long as there's leather. A photo shoot, because that sounds hot.
You don't even have to really do it. You just take it from the AI thing that they did.
Exactly. Yeah. I love it.
I saw that, but I can't write. What was that, like a year ago at this point? I saw it and I go, oh, I shouldn't be looking at this. I felt
Dude,
bad.
So people, even though, this is why I love people sometimes. And by love, I mean, ugh. So people would, even though I put it in the caption, this is AI generated by at whatever his handle is, because I can't remember it right now, VJ Raven Light or something like that.
Wow. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
I wanted to shout him out. Yeah.
It was taking me a minute to remember that one. Oh, wow. Okay.
So I put in the caption that it was AI generated, and all of the comments, even now, if you go and look at it, people are like, is this really you? I'm like, it is AI generated. Like, how many times do I have to tell you people? Just read the damn caption. Nobody reads captions.
But for the most part, everything looked like it could actually be
me.
You.
It was my picture.
Right.
But then there was the body. The body and the outfits were not me. I'm just going to be forthcoming. That was not I. Now, I'm not saying I couldn't look like that.
It totally was AI.
It was AI, not I.
Not I, said the fly with the badai.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that was, listen, it was good. Just accept it. Take
I
it.
loved
Take it
it.
for what it is. Be like, hell yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I mean, it was me in a sense, but it was not me. I did not put those outfits on. That was the other thing. People were like, "Why are you dressing like that?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't do that."
Somebody actually asked you why you were dressing like that?
Yes, I actually got a message from somebody I used to go to high school with. And I was like, "Okay, one, I'm not sure how you graduated because you clearly can't read." And then, but I was like, you know what? I could. I would. It's not above me. I'd put those outfits on. I'd pretend to be a dominatrix
There
and
you
I'd
go.
look good doing it too. So,
There you go. Well, then we'll have to send you and Joe on one of those sex cruises. You guys don't have to
yeah.
do anything. You just have to go and scope everything out.
So, funny story. Joe listened to the episode. And so, yesterday we are out at dinner and he's like, I was a little curious, or it piqued my interest that you were interested in the sex cruise. And I was like, I don't think I said that.
I don't think you did say that.
Like,
I don't
I
remember
think
you
maybe
saying
you
that.
misheard or maybe heard what you wanted to hear. I don't think that I said that I wanted to go on a sex cruise.
We can have sex on a cruise. We can
Sure.
go cruise and have sex, but we're not going on a sex cruise.
But no,
Get out of your mind.
no.
Get that
Yeah.
right out of your head. There you go.
But now I'm like, I think I know what my husband wants to do.
Oh my goodness. TMI, don't want to know. Don't
He
want to
outed
know.
himself. He outed himself.
That's not great. That's not that. Yeah, I don't want to know about that.
No, you know what? He does not want to go on a sex cruise. I don't want to make people think that that's what he wants to do. He does not. He's disinterested. I'm just calling him out because he was like, "Oh, you wanted to do," and I was like, "No, you definitely didn't hear that correctly."
No. What we do want to do is we want to do a Dirty Little Secrets Club cruise
Mm.
where we go and we do hosting and we do host that event. That's what we want to do.
That would be fun, and that's exactly yes, that's what we
Yes.
want to do.
That would
Mhm.
be awesome. We could do Dirty Little Secrets cruise and what do you call it? And get a whole bunch of cool guests to come along. It'd be
Uh-huh.
awesome. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
We could
That
have
would
a
be good.
buffet. We could have just like one large charcuterie board going the whole way down.
That's
Then we could
pretty
invite
awesome.
this next person onto the cruise, but she might have a little bit of a problem with a charcuterie board.
Wow. So you really went there. I like the transition. Congratulations. I'm going to give you one of these. I wish I had the little hands to do the clap with
Yeah.
that. No. Well done. Well done. What do you call it?
Smooth, Dana. So
So smooth. So
smooth.
smooth. So this woman, okay, she's a Manhattan law student. What that had to do with anything, I don't know. I don't know
I think it
why they
just
had
had
to
to
put
do
that
with
in there.
status. They were like, we want to let you know that, she was a Manhattan law student because if she was a Jersey housekeeper, nobody would have clicked the link.
That's true. So what do you call it? Basically, this person had an insatiable appetite for cheese, and she wound up going to a what was it?
A wellness retreat
Wellness
slash
retreat.
rehab. They called it rehab, but when
Ugh.
I'm looking at the article, it said a wellness retreat. But this girl was addicted to cheese and she would buy it by the blocks and eat it like an apple.
White cheddar and Parmesan is what
Just
her favorites were. It looks to be white cheddar and Parmesan. Didn't she go? So there was like a $6,000 a week
that
type
was the
of
rehab.
retreat.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, $6,000 a week. She went for 2 weeks. So that's $12,000. And this was all to get her cheese habit under control. In the
So
article, it says that she would like sit in the dark on her floor, just downing cheese, like blocks of cheese.
how do you not get super sick? Right?
How do you poop?
The
Like,
flatulence must be ridiculous. Like
yeah,
ridiculous. Like
that is
I gotta believe that like it was exploding all over the place.
how she wasn't in constant pain from like constipation cramps or gas, or I mean, anytime you eat anything too much, it's going to not be great for you, right?
She ate 5.5 blocks of cheese a week. 5.5 blocks. Now, okay, I can eat, but there's no freaking way on God's green earth that I'm going to eat 5.5 blocks of cheese a week. I love cheese. I could never, ever eat that much.
I don't think that I could eat a block of cheese per week. Like I like cheese, but and believe me, like I can't be vegan because cheese is like something that I need in my life for comfort reasons.
I couldn't even walk a block eating cheese. Nonetheless, a block of cheese in a week. It's just not happening. What do you call? And by the way, it's funny that you said about the vegan thing. I just saw something that made so much sense, which is crazy. That it's just this little side note,
Uh-huh.
that people that are claim to be vegan, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. What do you call? But the people that claim to be vegan and that they're eating food from what is it? It's not regular.
Like plants, like soy?
No. Vegetables, but it's organic. The organic
Oh, organic.
vegetables
Uh-huh.
are actually not grown, without using because they can't use manure because manure is from an animal.
Uh-huh.
But instead they actually use for the soil, they use shrimp, something with shrimp, like shrimp meal or something like that. So
Oh, but shrimp
technically
is
shrimp is
a living
exactly
being. It has
right.
eyes and everything.
So essentially, if your plants are not vegan, neither are you. So, if you're eating that kind of organic stuff, it's a no bueno. So just letting you guys
Oh.
know, I'm not knocking you if you're vegan. I think that's fantastic. I love animals. I can't see myself going without eating steak and so forth. But at the end of the day, like just so you're aware, that's organic produce. They have to use something
I
in
would
order to
assume it's
help
in
it.
some areas and not all cases, right? Like, because there you have to be certified organic. Like, people have to, in order to put that stuff on the packaging, they have like people come out and check your shit and test your dirt and do all of the stuff.
Yeah, that's why they don't use manure. They use the shrimp stuff instead. Whatever it is, shrimp
Interesting.
stuff. Yeah.
That is
But
crazy.
yeah, what do you call it? Now again, I mean, you guys can look it up. I looked it up and it seemed to be true. But again, I'm not saying that that's everything, but that is, it's a fact. So yeah, just craziness.
Wow.
But back to this chick. Listen, I don't understand how not only that she ate all that cheese, but cheese is flipping expensive. However, then again, she did go to a $6,000 a week. What do you call it? Retreat.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But she also wasn't eating anything else, really. I mean, 5 blocks of cheese a week, like, I assume it said that she would like make a salad with the lettuce on the side and it would just be like cheese and Caesar dressing.
oh my God, it's not easy being cheesy. Let me tell
It's
you.
not easy. In fact, it made her obviously um unhealthy. She gained a lot of weight. She ended up with like being diabetic. I believe that's what it said. And
Mm,
she actually was prescribed Ozempic to help
wow.
her with her weight loss after getting her cheese habit under control. However, she also said whenever she's very depressed, she will still eat a block of cheese.
I'm gonna grab a cheese stick.
Yeah. Well, you know what? A cheese stick would
Gotta have
probably
that
be better
mozz.
than a fucking block of cheese.
Gotta have that mozzarella.
Uh-huh.
See what I'm
That's
saying? I
right.
didn't want people to think I was talking about the apple, apple sauce mozz.
Oh,
Gotta have the gotta have the mozz. Remember that?
I
Yeah,
do.
gotta have the
Yeah.
mozz. Gotta have the mozzarella. Anyway,
Mozzarella.
so people actually, I was reading here that people refer to cheese as dairy crack because it contains the opiate chemicals that attach to the brain receptors, the same that fentanyl does. So what do you call it, or other
Wow.
narcotics? Yeah. So what do you call it? Yeah, this was not good. This was not good at all. Pretty girl, very pretty girl. But again, it's not easy being cheesy. She probably
So,
smelled like God knows. Oh my
Oof.
goodness. The
That got to put a
flatulence.
damper on your love life for
Ooh,
sure.
the flatulence. I mean, look, I just saw what do you call it? Just saw a meme that said, when he's on top of you and you try not to and you have to fart and you're trying to hold it in. That was her life. You're like, oh,
I
ooh.
don't know. I can't imagine that there was a lot of lovemaking going on if she was in the dark eating cheese all the time.
Yeah, cheese feasts. 5 months. She stopped menstruating for 5 months
Holy shit.
during her cheese feasts.
Oh my gosh. That's so like the toll that this had to have taken on her body. Wow.
That's just insane.
For you to
It really
stop
is insane.
menstruating, like shit has to be not great.
No, not great. What do you call it? Well, I mean, at least she finally came out with it. She didn't keep it a secret.
Yeah. Well, and also her shit had to have been not great.
Yeah, like you know how much like TP she must have gone through, like because that's not it's
or
not going to be
not
hard.
gone
That's wet.
through,
That's
right?
wet. No, well, yeah, no,
I
actually,
don't know.
yeah,
I feel like cheese
cheese does
constipates you.
constipate you. Yes, you're right. But when it does come out, man, oh man, it is not fun.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh my God, yeah, it's not fun. No, that's gross. All right, what
Yeah.
do you call it?
They tried to make her go to rehab, and she
But
did.
she said no, no, no. Oh
And
wait, no, she said yes.
she said yes.
Well, you know who else
Yes.
should have went to rehab?
Uh-oh, who?
What do you call it? The people that work at the Wisconsin Capitol, because in their tulip garden there were apparently dozens of marijuana plants. And outside the Capitol, it's the Wisconsin Capitol. They had to go in and they had dozens of people go out and pull out these what do you call it? This harvest of marijuana.
Oh my, and you know that like, I wonder what they did with it. Did they take them home?
Oh, yeah, come on. You know they did. They're like, we ain't working for free. We ain't working for
Yeah.
free. We're
But
gonna have some smoke in there.
I wonder, like, was this a joke? Was this like a political statement? Was like, why is Wisconsin a state that allows marijuana? Is it like California or no?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
I don't know.
Wisconsin. I assume that you're not allowed to have weed there,
Well,
but
they have cheese there, Dana.
they
Cheese girl
they
could have
do
went to
have
Wisconsin. She could have
cheese.
eaten and gotten high all at once. Look
Oh,
at
you know
that.
what? It does remain illegal. It says here marijuana remains illegal in all forms in Wisconsin. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this feels like a political statement to me. They just planted a bunch of weed plants in their tulip garden. I fucking love it.
Now here's the question. So it did say they couldn't determine if they were marijuana or hemp. So apparently they're both forms of cannabis, but only marijuana, is what gets people high.
Has
So
THC.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't know
Interesting.
anything about that stuff, but I did think it was quite amusing. Like how does it get into the tulip garden? You know what I mean? Unless birds or bunnies, went and ate something nearby,
The
and then
wind. It went.
no, well, well, listen, I got to tell you, outside this morning, I went out to have some coffee outside on my patio, and what do you call it? When the wind blew, I visibly saw the pollen like
Yeah,
flying. So it
that
is
shit
possible.
happens. Hell yeah, it's
It is
possible.
possible, but it's more probable that somebody done sprinkled the stuff in there, or an animal ate somewhere, got a little tipsy themselves, and then figured they're gonna go over there and drop a
Poop
deuce
it
or
out in
two.
their garden. I
Yeah,
don't know. It feels like that it wouldn't be, just in the tulip garden outside of, their what was it, the Capitol building or something?
yeah.
Like it feels
The
like it would
Wisconsin
have
Capitol building.
been somewhere else also instead of restricted to the tulip garden. That feels on purpose.
Yeah, it probably was on purpose.
Yeah.
Who would have done it? It's like, hey, make this legal. Otherwise, we're gonna get you in trouble. Well, technically, somebody's got to get in trouble for that. So who gets in trouble?
Well, I
Right?
guess unless they caught the person on camera, and are you allowed to walk through the tulip garden? Because if you are, there's no way they could figure out who did it
I'm
because
sorry. Who
they
knows
would
who
just
it is?
be dropping seeds out of their pockets or something rather than, I mean, they're not out there with like a hose and a shovel and like, making a nice little pile of marijuana plants.
You're making such a nice scenario.
I know. Listen, again, we have to build some of this shit in our heads. We really need to have a good imagination here.
It's like it's spread out nice. Come on, it's craziness. Well, listen, somebody's got to get in trouble for it. So I guess the politicians need to be in trouble for it.
Well, or they
They're
need
the
to
ones in the building.
legalize marijuana because there is not a reason in my head that anybody should be in prison for smoking weed. That is dumb. And they do. They put a lot of people in prison because of weed,
Well,
which is ridiculous.
here's the thing, and I always find this interesting. And how does this get handled? In the in the span of time, there are people that, like you said, they've gotten arrested for weed or for alcohol or some stuff or whatever it is that x amount of years later then all of a sudden becomes legal. So what does that, like, now you're either in prison for that same thing
That is now
or
legal. I think there's a lot of cases where they have to like go back and like redetermine and redo things. Our court system, legal system, prison system they have some work to do to be better.
yeah.
But you know who should be in fucking prison?
Oh yeah, some folks out in New Hampshire who are running a daycare. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. You
Uh-huh.
tell them about this.
There was a daycare in New Hampshire where these motherfuckers sprinkled melatonin on the kids' food.
By the way, did you notice that one of these, like the third one in that picture,
Looks like a crackhead.
it looks like a Temu version of what do you call it? Chandler Bing. Look.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Once you
Uh,
see it, you can't not see it.
You can't not see it. You are absolutely. In fact, it's actually unfortunate because I'm looking at this. There's a group picture of the 4 daycare workers. It was an in-house daycare. And they all look like they have some sort of drug habit.
Oh yeah, who the hell's leaving their kids with these people? I would not be leaving my kids with these people. I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel I don't want to like say that the parents shouldn't have they trusted these people, but yeah,
But why?
it's ugh,
Look at them.
I know. I know. It doesn't look great. It could have been that that was their only option. It could have been, a cost issue. It could have been a lot of different reasons. They were the closest. They were the only ones that weren't filled up. I mean, there's so many reasons but the people trusted that these people would take good care. And then they find out that the food that they are being provided has melatonin in it.
So, okay, it's wrong. Nobody should have done that, especially without the parents' knowledge.
Uh-huh.
What do you call it? Now, just thankfully, melatonin is what do you call it? An over-the-counter drug. It is sold as a sleep aid. What do you call it? What do you call it? And it is safe in small doses, and as long as it's not used repetitively. However, it is illegal to be, giving something like this to children nonetheless without
Especially
the
without the
parents knowing it.
consent.
No
Yeah.
consent. But my point here is the kids hopefully should not have any issues from it. You know what I mean? It's, like thankfully they didn't, do something else to them. You know what I mean? That was
Well, it
worse.
makes me wonder if there was anything else. If this is what they found out was the melatonin thing, that means that they probably skirted the edges of some other things as well.
It's
Like
possible. Maybe
I
they were
don't
smoking weed and
even
blowing it in their faces
who knows? Who
because they were
knows what
hanging
the
out
fuck they're
over at the
doing?
Wisconsin garden.
Yeah. I mean, New
Eating some
Hampshire and
cheese.
Wisconsin, it's a long way to go, but maybe.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Then they were eating some cheese in there. It was all
Road
good.
trip.
See, we tie it all together like we used to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That's these people should be, put on a very, very long vacation. And speaking
Yeah.
of vacationing, you hear about that quiet vacationing that's going on?
Millennials be millenniating. Is that a word?
Talk about it.
Millenniaing?
Yeah, millennialing,
Millennialing.
there we go. All the
Uh,
okay.
yeah,
Go
well, I
ahead.
mean, we've heard of quiet quitting before, right? Like we've talked about quiet quitting on another episode way back when. This was like a year and a
Did
half,
we?
maybe two. Yeah, we did.
Oh,
But now they're talking about how millennials are quiet vacationing. So
okay.
because we have the ability to do remote work, millennials are just going on vacation and working on their vacation remotely, and not telling their bosses that they're going on vacation.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. You know what's nuts? That yeah, you have the opportunity to do that, but if people really wanted to, like if the companies really wanted to, they could track the IPs. You know what I mean of their what do you call it, their employees and
It's
actually find
probably
out where
too
they
much
are.
work to do all of that. I don't even know how you do, like, I'm not well versed in computer stuff, so I don't know. Um,
So I know somebody, okay, so I know somebody that they work somewhere where over the summer they
uh-huh,
get unemployment because they work throughout the year. And
right.
then what do you call it? That's the job that then they're offered unemployment for the
For the
couple of
summer.
months
Yeah.
for the summer because there's no work or whatever, and then
Uh-huh.
they go back. However, what do you call it? In order to do unemployment, that
Uh-huh.
means that you need to be like as though you were ready and willing to
To
work,
work.
and what do you call it, and that you were here in the United States and so forth. So this person happened to go to Italy, what do you call it, and then they what do you call it used their laptop or whatever it is to sign in and do the what do you call it do unemployment.
Yeah.
Well, they
They
had
got flagged for
contacted
being out of country.
they contacted her and said, well, this is where you were. This is the IP address. This is where you were at this house to the address, the name of the person, blah, blah, blah. This is the date and yada, yada. They knew everything. And
Wow.
they gave her penalties, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, so what do you call it? So now when the person goes away, they don't do they don't do the
That
unemployment anymore.
is crazy.
Nuts. Nuts.
Wow.
So, yes, they can do it. And I got to believe, I mean, because the state, they don't spend a lot of money on anything. So I got to believe that
Yeah.
they absolutely could figure that out.
I'm sure they could figure it out. However, it's also like I hate the notion of being like I need to have my vacation approved because then it gives the company the option of saying no.
I
And
agree with
in
that.
my head, I'm like, no, screw you. I'm not asking permission to take a vacation. I'm
Right.
telling you I'm going on vacation.
Right.
And in the United States, we are the I don't want to say only country, but in other countries, they're just like, yeah, see ya, bye, have a great vacation. And here we are so work oriented. Everybody's like,
Hmm.
you have to work hard, work hard, work hard, dedicate your life to this company that will fucking replace you in a second
Right.
if you were to pass or get ill. And it's such bullshit to me. Like, we should not be living our lives to work. We should be working to live our lives. And in America, it's backwards. More people are living their lives to work than the
Right.
opposite.
Which is why when you own your own business, you would think that you would put everything and then some into the business to ensure success so you don't have to work for anybody else. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And you can predict your own hours and times and, your schedule. That's the thing that drives me nuts,
Well,
like,
one thing that I love about my husband, who does own a company and he does have employees, whenever his employees are like, I'm going on vacation, he's like, great, have fun. Or
yeah,
I need the day off. Great. Okay. See you tomorrow. Or my wife is having surgery. Or I need to be there for this. Or I
right.
need a fucking mental health day.
Yeah.
Joe's like, cool. See you later. Because
You
you got to
know,
keep those employees happy.
Absolutely. It's also nice to be respectful as an employee, though, to say, hey, just to give you a little advance notice so because I know you've got big jobs coming up or I know you've
Yep.
got things going on, like can you maybe just so you know, you can get somebody else. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
all
We'll work
about
around
that
it.
relationship that you
Relationship and
build with your
respect.
employees because
Right.
his employees respect him because he respects them.
Right.
And that's a great dynamic to be in. There are a lot of companies out there that are like, we'll replace you, or,
Yeah.
like, we don't want you to have lives outside of this, basically. I remember going into work and having to come in at 6 a.m. if I wanted to leave early because my kids had a baseball game,
Yeah. No.
like, and that's
Yeah.
why I don't do a jobby job no more.
And that's why I work for myself. I am
Yeah.
all brimstone all the time. Yeah, when I dipped out of entertainment for a hot minute, I needed to take a little bit of time out, and that was exactly the case. I went and I got involved and I got into bed with this company, and
Yeah,
I
you
was
did.
partnering. I was partnering, you know what I mean? I did partner with them, so it was not like I was working fully. And it was like anything I needed to do or go or whatever, it was like a major issue. And I
Yeah.
was like, there's no way I'm doing this.
Nope.
There's no way I'm doing it. Because again, I am responsible and I'm a hard worker and I do what I need to do to get things done,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a family. I have, other things going on, especially my life as it is now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up, what I have for somebody else. Why work for somebody else's dream when you could work for your own,
Uh-huh.
And if you don't have your own dreams, you know what I mean? You can build someone else's and that's perfectly fine.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know what
You
I mean?
could
There's no shame
support.
in that.
Yeah.
No shame in that. But, like I just for me, it's all about the respect and so forth. I've never ever given somebody a hard time when they couldn't be in, or like, as long as you give me some kind of a, hey, what do you call
Yeah.
it? Let me know. You know what I mean? Like
It's
if you're
that
going to tell me
mutual
the day before,
respect.
I had one person with Grindhouse Radio that, what do you call it? I had a couple tour dates coming up and it was like a week we were going to be gone, and I had an issue with my car, and it was I what do you call it? And there wasn't enough in the budget for like a rental and so forth, but
Right.
so I would have paid it out of pocket, but one of the people that was with me at the time was like, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to go with you, and I'll drive. Blah blah blah. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. So I had some time before the thing. The
Yeah.
day before leaving, ghosted. Not couldn't get a hold of this guy for nothing. What do you go? Finally, what do you call it? The next morning, still didn't hear from him. I wound up getting somebody else that worked for me.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Did me the favor, because it was too late to go start trying to rent a car. I forgot why
Right.
the car rentals, they were either ridiculously expensive, or it was like a big vacation time where everything was
Right.
rented out. There was a reason for me not getting this. You're talking about a long time ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, didn't hear from the person until I got back, and they were like, "Oh, how'd it go?" I'm like, "Are
What do
you
you mean,
kidding
how'd
me?
it go?
Like,
You were
how'd it
supposed
go?"
to, yeah.
I would have been screwed, not only on all the money, but then I would have looked like a jackass. You know what I mean, for not showing up.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's that respect, where if you don't have that respect, it's not going to work. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
but it is what it is. But yeah, so these people going away on and doing this vacation stuff and not telling anybody, and just, I think it's a little effed up simply because they should have the respect to let them know. But I do
But what
appreciate
if
and
they're
understand what
getting
they're doing.
their work done still? Then is it okay? Like if they have access to work remotely and they're like, you know what, from 6 in the morning until noon, I'm gonna do this work. And then I'm gonna go out and I'm going to enjoy the beach and I'm going to have a cocktail and I'm gonna go to dinner and then I'm gonna go to bed and wake up and do the same thing the next day. How do you feel about that if they're still like productive and getting their work completed?
I feel like that's perfectly fine. However, most people aren't going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Most people are going to be doing the minimalist things that they could do. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I would
That's all
too.
you.
Yep.
But I know that, again, when I'm away, when I'm gone, I
Uh-huh.
work the entire time that I'm gone when I'm touring. Any downtime, I'm still working because if
Yeah.
I don't do it, I don't get paid because I work
Right.
for
But
myself.
it's for you. It's you're supporting you.
So if you're going to be away and you're taking someone else's money working for them, you know what I mean? And and they're expecting you to do a job and you're doing the minimal amount of work, that's not fair either. Now, again, I completely understand it. If you're really getting your work done, I'm cool with that. Here, my son works when we were out doing Syndicate Smokedown out
Uh-huh.
in Fort Worth. He
Yeah.
worked the whole time. You
Yeah.
know, what do you call it? Like he had his phone, his work phone on hand, and anytime one of his clients called, boom, he was up but they knew he was there. They
Right. Yeah. He didn't
they
quiet
knew.
vacation.
Yes, he didn't quiet vacation. They knew he was there.
Yeah. Well, there's
So
a difference there for sure. And I
right.
also wonder, like, if you were to just say to your boss, like, yo, I'm going to work remotely. I'm going to, I don't know, give me a place, Disney World or
Disney.
whatever, Florida. Um, maybe they would be okay with it. Maybe they wouldn't. But that would definitely be the point where I was like, yo, I was giving you a courtesy, not asking permission.
Right. I listen,
I could go
I
and
when
not work. How about that?
if I'm out and I'm in Florida or whatever, even when I've been in California, if I'm at one of the theme parks and Grindhouse is taking place because I do not like missing episodes. If
Yeah.
Grindhouse was taking place, I will be called in from the freaking theme park and do at least one or two segments with them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'll
Yeah.
take either 15 minutes, a half an hour, sometimes longer, just to go on with them. You and I are just the two of us, and we always work around each other's schedules.
Uh-huh.
So we'll always find a time that works because it's the communication and respect is there.
Yep.
So, but there are people that don't have that work ethic or the
Uh-huh.
respect, and
Takes
that's
all
not cool.
kinds.
So with
Takes all
this
kinds.
this whole situation, it can go either way for me.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it, but I also see where there could be major issues with it.
Yeah.
And you can too. It's not, like
Totally.
it's for people that are responsible in doing it, because again, these people are not on a real vacation. They're going, or they didn't have the time away, or they just didn't tell anybody, or maybe they do
Right.
have a paid vacation, but they just wanted to go away, for another, extra week or a few
Double
days.
dipping.
Yeah, and just not say anything about it. So, in that situation, you're still getting paid to do a job that now you're not doing. So
Yeah.
again, and it also depends on what you do for a living. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Anyways, that's just
True
craziness,
that.
craziness. What do you call it? You know what else is crazy?
Hmm.
There's this woman that has been living in a supermarket store sign, what do you call it, literally for over a year. This just came out, what do you call it, but this past month, just about a week or so ago. She was living there in a store sign with a coffee maker and a computer, and I think maybe a printer, I think you had said when we were talking about it.
The resourcefulness of this woman is actually impressive. She found herself an area to keep herself warm. I mean, I think it's clear that she was an unhoused person if she's living in a store sign.
I would
She
think.
has a coffee maker and a computer and I mean, that is very resourceful to me.
Very resourceful. Crazy, because first of all, I know birds and animals live in those things. I
But this one
wouldn't
was
think a
closed
human did.
up. You could there was a door. You actually accessed the back of the sign from a door. It was a very large sign on top of a grocery store roof.
Oh, so probably because the electrical's in there. So when they
Yes.
went in, they were able to go in if something was out. Oh my goodness. I didn't say I wouldn't have even known that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't have even known how do you get in and out and up and down?
I
How do
would
you do
love
that?
to know that. Apparently, she did some Houdini stuff because people that
Parkour,
worked at the
parkour, parkour, parkour. Sorry. They called her the roof ninja, right?
the roof ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parkour. Come on, Dana, you got to do it at least once.
Paco.
uh,
But they would say that they would see her outside of the grocery store and then all of a sudden she was gone. She would vanish. So clearly she was, parkouring up the roof and then entering to her new home that she was able to stay in for an entire year.
Like, how do you uh, listen? You know what? As long as she was okay and she was safe and nobody else was hurt, and I mean, I guess I can't be mad at her because look, would you rather be living in the street where it's definitely not safe,
Yeah.
or hidden somewhere where you can at least be
She was by
safe?
herself. She felt secure sleeping there. She
She
had
had a mini
laid
desk.
down. Yeah, she had a mini desk and she laid down flooring in this place. Like, she really made it her own. And, as a woman that is unhoused and on the streets, like, I feel like she really set herself up for safety in that situation. What?
Okay, so this is how I feel right now on this. And what do you call it? This is what was the name of the place that she stayed at? A
It's
Family
like
Fare.
Family
Now I'm
Fair
n-
supermarket.
now I'm not familiar with Family Fare,
Me
but
neither.
I personally feel that they missed out on an incredible opportunity to do the right thing, and not only that, to get a lot of
Publicity.
obviously publicity out of it, even though you should want to do it because it's the right thing. You'd be getting a lot of really good press. What they should have done is, when they found her, to not be like, okay, get out, and now you've lost where you're living and you're back on the street. And you know yes, it should have been addressed, but then they should have said, okay, why, what's going on, what was the issue, and then they should have helped her get into a place, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, and given her some kind of food, given her a job, you know what I mean, something that they could have
Ooh.
done, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in order to help this woman who's obviously in dire straits. Who the fuck
Mhm.
wants to live in a sign? You know what I mean? Like, that's not what she wants to be doing. She was
Totally.
there out of necessity, I've got to
Mhm.
believe, unless she was a Looney Tune, and it doesn't seem that was the case. It seems like she was trying to at least be somewhere safe and be able to live. So these people should have, because look, they've got billions of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they're not a $1 billion company, they're $1 million company,
Mhm.
multi-million-dollar company. Take some money out of your budget, get this person an apartment, set them up, give them a job, give them free food for the first 3 6 months, and then what do you call it? And now you got your press release that you could send out, and you're
Yeah.
taking care of this person, and you're
You're
giving
giving
them an
back to your
opportunity.
community.
Thank you. You're giving back
Yeah.
to your community, rather than sitting and having the police come and escort them out of their living situation. Is
I
how it's put.
know.
She, what do you call it? She agreed to leave. You know what I mean? But the police
I'm like, what
confronted
choice
her.
did she have, right?
How
Like,
embarrassing that is.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when I owned my I had my pro wrestling school here in New York, and what do you call it? The spot that I had was like a it's like a warehouse-ish type of place. It was,
Uh-huh.
like a warehouse that's behind, or slightly behind, a what do you call it? Was like a strip mall. So there's
Okay.
like two strip malls, one this way and one the catty corners, right? So it's right in the back, and right back there is also where the train tracks were.
Mhm.
Well, those train tracks, there was a bunch of hobos that wound up living over there. They found their way there, and so what do you call it? You know, when they came out, I said to them, look, I have a lot of kids here. I have a lot of, there are people that come here, they're training, for this. I said, and they're young ladies that are coming in. I have to know that they're safe. I cannot have you here outside, scaring people away, or having them feel threatened. And what do you call it? I told them, if you're respectful, and you don't do anything disrespectful, you steer clear. I'll make sure to I'll take care of you guys when I'm around. I'll bring you some food. I'll give you some drinks, whatever,
Mhm.
soda and stuff like that. And it worked until they moved. They decided to go on their own. I didn't call the cops on them.
Right.
I didn't try to, I
Because
knew that
really,
they
what
were.
are the cops going to do?
What are they going to
Right?
do?
They're going to be like, move along, or they're
No,
going to put them in jail for something, and then they're going to get out of jail. Like, it's just,
it's
what
a
are they
crappy
really going to do?
situation. It's a
Yeah.
crappy situation. I knew that some of them would go and they would get cleaned up at the place down the road. So what did
Uh-huh.
I do is I put together a food drive and I wound up taking food and clothing and I dropped it off at the place down the road. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I wanted to help better the situation. But
Yeah.
that's the kind of person I am. What do you call it? The only one time where a guy came in, it's a funny story. I know it's going over, but what do you call it? It was a guy came in and while we had the doors open, and he's like, he goes, you guys have anything to eat? What do you call it? And I was like, listen, you know that I can't have you coming in here like this. I said,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, here's some, I had like M&Ms and some soda. When, I said, here's some M&Ms, here's a soda. He goes, I don't want no soda. I want some beer. I'm like, whoa, okay. Everybody got a kick out of it. It was kind of like, you ever seen Aladdin? Jafar and Aladdin when he's doing
Yeah.
the homeless guy. It's like,
Yeah.
it was just like that. So we named him Jafar, and what do you call it? He went on his
Uh,
way. So what do you call it? But that was the only incident that we had. But
yeah.
always tried to give back. But that being said, what do you call it? Give back rather than take away is my thing. If
Yeah.
they're not doing anything wrong, if they're in your house, that's a
Oh,
different story.
yeah. That's a different story for sure. Entirely.
Yeah, that's a very, very different story. Stay out of the damn house. Very good. Well, guys, that's about all the time we have this week for the Dirty Little Secrets Club. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much for helping us, light up the charts. It's really appreciated. Keep following, subscribing, commenting, all the things. Dana, the one rule of Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Yes, guys, the first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is to tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We thank you. We appreciate you, and we will see you again, God willing, next week.
Promised land. You think we want something from you? You got another thing coming.